Good morning, everybody. KT here with Wise Images Photography, and I wanted to say, if this is your first time ever coming to my channel, welcome to my channel where we like to learn about nature, photography, and we love to go on fun-filled adventures. Hey everybody, we're over here at Jetty Park today. We're gonna go have some fun looking for the Mullet Migration. Don't know if I'll see it or if I won't see it, so it's going to be a fun-filled adventure to see what happens, but we're going to check it out. We're going to go ahead and photograph some birds, and we're just going to have some fun. So let's get going. Here's a little bit of a spoiler alert for you. I didn't get to see the migration, but that's okay because I had tons of fun, and I'm going to get into that a little bit later anyways. So this park, let's go and talk about it for a little bit because it's a beautiful little park to visit. It's about 30 acres in size, and when I first rolled up, it was really super cool because they had the Reveille was playing, and of course at the time I couldn't remember the name of the video because or the name of the song because I got so excited about hearing it. So needless to say, I have a short clip of it. I don't think you're really going to be able to hear it too well. I'm going to try to boost those audio levels so that you guys can hear it. But here's a short clip in my reaction to hearing what I like to call the bugle song because I can remember Reveille. I don't know if you guys can hear that. They're playing the bugle song. Oh, that is awesome. The echo. That is so cool. Literally, guys, I was walking to the bathroom and the bugle song started playing. And yeah, so I missed part of it, but hopefully you guys got to hear part of it. That was pretty cool. Now, in this small park, there's so much that you guys can do. It's like a lot is jam-packed into this small little area. This park is right next to the beach and the Port Canaveral Inlet. So you have the opportunity to relax on the beach, go for a swim, go surfing. You can go to the pier, and when you're on the pier, you just go for a walk, look at the sun, watch the sunrise. You can go fishing. They have nice little fish cleanup stations, so you can clean your fish right there. Absolutely wonderful, and just honestly, it kind of made for a great relaxing day while I was out there. If you want to go boating, there is a boat ramp. It's called the Freddie Patrick Park Boat Ramp. So you can drop your boat right there and you'll be right inside that inlet to go right out into the Atlantic Ocean. Now, the one thing that I wish I had known prior to going over to Jetty Park was you have to buy the pass online before you get there. So I'm rolling up to the gates and all of a sudden I'm like, have your pass ready, have your pass ready. And I was kind of like, oh, bummer, because I really don't like doing too many transactions on my phone. I'm a little bit more old school, prefer my computer. So if there's one thing that I wish I had known prior to going was that bit of information. So have your online pass ready to go, so purchase it beforehand. Now, the main reason why I went to Jetty Park in the first place was because I was specifically looking for the Mullet Migration. I had spent a year planning exactly when I was going to go, looking at the tides, the moons, and everything else like that. But needless to say, it was not meant to be. So if you're wondering what is the Mullet Migration, basically this is when you have the saltwater bait fish called a mullet migrates around the Atlantic and the Gulf Coast areas from August to November. Now, fish anglers love this time of year because the huge game fish come in and feast off of these mullet. You will have tarpon, bluefish, sharks, and other type of huge game fish to come in that will come in to get these mullet, and the birds are also in on it. So it really becomes this chaotic scene, but by what I have been told about the mullet migration. And I really, really wanted an opportunity to see this for myself, and I really wanted to be able to film it for you so that way you guys could see it too. If you think this would be something cool that you want to see, make sure you give it a thumbs up. On my trip, I talked to some of the locals in the area, and they had told me that the migration was already happening prior to Hurricane Ian, which had happened at the end of September. My trip was planned for the following week, and with the hurricane coming in, it kind of messed up the migration a little bit. So that is why I ended up missing it. But I found out some really good information to help me out for next year. The locals told me that the migration doesn't really happen inside of the inlet too much. It actually happens more towards the mouth of the inlet. And also too, you can see the migration a lot better from the shoreline than from the pier. So I found that to be some really good information, because I wasn't really sure when I showed up. Like, nobody had kind of told me, like, where do you stand? Where are you going to see this? And that that bit of information helped me figure that out. I also, after talking with the locals, I was like, you know what? Sounds like next year I better go mid-September or the beginning of September, so that way if it's going on, I can catch it early. And then if it hasn't happened, I have more time to kind of plan additional trips, so that way I make sure that I don't miss it next year. Now, this trip wasn't a complete loss. One, I was able to talk with some locals and figure out where the mullet migration is going to be next year. Two, I also used this time to go ahead and practice my video skills. You see, when I started videoing back in the day, I had a 3CCD chip camera, and the balance on it was completely different than trying to shoot with a DSLR. Now, I just recently started shooting video with DSLR, and it's been a little bit of a challenge. The balance is all off and everything, but that's okay. Eventually I will figure out how to make sure I'm hitting that moving target just fine one of these days, and I know that it's just going to take a little bit of practice. And that's one of the things that I want to kind of remind you guys is you always need to practice. You always want to continuously learn new skills and hone in on your craft and practice those skills, whether they are old or new, because you don't want to get rusty with any of your skills. So if you guys are finding value in this, make sure you guys go ahead and hit that subscribe button for me. The third part about going out to Jetty Park was it was fantastic in the fact that there were so much wildlife out there. There were tons of birds. I was seeing turtles, I was seeing stingrays, and I'm gonna go ahead and put a little montage together for you so that you guys can go ahead and see some of the animals that I was able to see while I was out there. Please make sure you subscribe and hit that notification button. That way you do not miss any of these episodes. If you think this is something somebody else would like, please make sure you go ahead and share this with them and pass the word along so that other people can learn about nature photography and go on some fun-filled adventures with us. I want to say, have an awesome week. Thank you so much for tuning in. And until next time, see you later, alligator.